black folk right now hold the greatest academic achievement on the earth. For 360 years, it was against the law, Rock, to be caught teaching a black person to read and write. Yeah. It'll cost you 39 lashes and $100 to teach a black person to read and write. That was all the way up to the 1860s. So in 1860, when blacks came out of slavery, 96% of black folk in America could not read and write. Between 1865 and 1895, black folk reduced their illiteracy rate from almost 96% all the way down to 40-something%. And they did it by themselves, basically. They hold a record of achievement. Nobody in the history of the world has ever come out of slavery and be able to reduce their illiteracy rate in half in 30-year time period.
Get Out the Vote campaign in South Los Angeles, organized by former rival gang members. Some ex-Bloods and Crips who now call themselves peacemakers are calling on all South LA neighborhoods to get out and vote. Some of those present today unable to vote due to criminal records, but still turning out to urge those who can vote to take this opportunity to let their voices be heard.
We want to let all the Bloods and Crips know across the states that it's time to come together and be a voice in your community. The time is not to sit around on the sidelines and point fingers, and it's time to get involved.
see the doctor.
Welcome to the Dr. Crip Show. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for everybody who's doing and staying down. We almost to that 1,000 to where we can start monetizing. We just can't wait till we get to that point, because once we get to that point, we taking off. YouTube is super proud of me. They say, hey man, look, since September the 10th, you got this many subscribers so far. That means that your show is effective. We want you to keep doing what you're doing. They hadn't already sent me something saying all that in my analytics and all these special messages and all that. So I'm glad that they are bored. But what I did want to talk about is the kids, man. Like, the kids are really being attracted to what they see right now. I was just reading something the other day. I should have it right here that I could read. I could read it to you, but it's some more updates about where our kids are at. You know, of course, you know, kids, our kids are last in everything, if people don't really know that. So, oh, not my son, Dr. Crip. Not my son ain't. Yeah, your son ain't. But that doesn't count for a whole. So, in the future, what good is it that your son got all the knowledge and he got to go off to fight by himself in the corporate world, the entrepreneur world, or whatever? He don't got no other homies with him. So now he got to go deal with the white kids, the other kids, the Mexicans, the Asian kids, everybody kids that stick together and focus on education. And the black kids are just going to be lost. If you don't know, go check out that picture that Camilla Harris just put up with the 15-year-olds that Dr. Umar was talking about. Ain't no black kids on there. So, you know, that lets you know right there where you stand, where your kids stand at. Gangs are not helping the black community. It is time for the black community to say, listen, it's over with. We need to end that. It's a done deal. You don't need to put nobody else on 9-0. Don't need to put nobody else on Neighborhood. Don't need to put nobody else on Bloods. Don't need to put nobody else on Pyru. Don't need to put nobody else on East Side. Don't need to put nobody else on Gangster. Don't need to put nobody else on Hoover, Damu, any of that. Niggas really need to be trying to stop that. Well, now, how that's supposed to happen? Because it's too many chiefs. And, you know, it's too many chiefs. Yeah, I know. But guess what happens? When this year and next year come, we gonna see how many people want to get together. Messages, comments, and all that. But I'm cool with that. You a custer, you feel me? All kind of stuff. You know, you talking about your homies or something, you know, because of this. Now because you got shot, so what? It is what it is. But I also get other kind of questions too, and answers and statements and comments. You know, Nut, what you think about this? Should I do this? From people that started Crippin', who's at the board, you know, there's supposed to be at this Supreme Board. I'm like, all that don't mean nothing to me. All that podcasting, all that don't. Now, if you want to turn your story into, you know, something that try to generate funds from you, you know, that's your right, because you took part of the illusion. So you got to get something out of it. You know, you did this 25, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, and you ain't got nothing out of it. So you got all these podcast people, they all talking about how Crip started, this and that, and who was this and who was that. But let me explain something to you. It really don't matter, because homies don't understand. Like, if you give somebody your story, you tell somebody your story on another platform, all you doing is going to help them build their platform up. You're not going to get nothing out of that. You're going to be upset about that. I give you a story. A homie called me who part of the East Side. He there when it started. His name is Big, all that. He like, man, somebody want me to do their podcast for him. I'm like, yeah, okay. He like, what you think? He like, I'm serious, sister. What you think, man? That's why I called you. I'm trying to. I said, well, you gonna help blow them up. You ain't creating your own podcast to where you doing something yourself. You gotta do your own thing and tell your own story, because the only thing you're going to do is tell your story to somebody else, and they're going to get the likes, they're going to get the subscribers, they're going to get the views, they're going to get all that. And eventually, if they ain't making money now, guess what? They're eventually going to make money. That's why you got all these podcasters out here that sit behind a computer and say, look at this video, oh, this is what I think, this and that. Don't have nothing to do with when the video was done. They wasn't there. They didn't help. They don't have nothing to do with the people on the video or nothing. They sitting back behind the computer showing the video and talking about it. And they getting views, subscribers, likes, which can generate money. Ain't none of that money going back to the hood. Ain't none of them podcast people trying to help nothing. They ain't trying to stop nothing. They ain't trying to do nothing. All they want is what they consider content. Niggas killing each other, niggas arguing, niggas fighting, all that. I'm not like that. This ain't that type of podcast. This podcast is insightful, intelligent, to give you answers on how to prevent your kids. If you lost in the sauce, so what? You got to deal with it on your own. You and God gonna have to figure that out. But hopefully you have enough decency and enough respect to try to save your kids from doing something. I'm gonna read you something. I got to read this to you. You feel me? I have to. You feel me? I gotta read this to you. Give me 1 second. I gotta read this to you. You need to hear this. It's in the Britannica Encyclopedia, right? So when you go to the Britannica Encyclopedia and you stick in Crips, this is what it says. Now, put your seatbelt on for this, right? This is what it says. This is for all these superiors, these board members of Crips who started this, and I'm at the table and this and that. Okay, you know what? All that is cool. What you really need to be doing is apologizing for whatever it is that you helped create and start and all this, because it's an illusion. That's basically what it is. It's dysfunctional reality at its highest level that kills black people. So that's why I can speak on it, because I was part of it. So check this out. This is from the Britannica Encyclopedia. Crips, street gang based in Los Angeles that is involved in various illegal activities, notably drug dealing, theft, extortion, and murder. The group, which is largely African American, is traditionally associated with the color blue. The Crips gained national attention for their bitter rivalry with the Bloods. The gang origins are disputed. That's because of you Supreme Board people that help. Everybody got their own. I was there, this, that, whatever. According to some reports, Stanley Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington, both high schoolers in Los Angeles, founded the Crips in 1971 for protection from gang violence. There it is there. It doesn't matter if that's what it was or that what it ain't or none of that. 2 names. That's it. Your name will not be mentioned in history as creating one of the most dumbest things to ever affect black people for over 50, 60 years. Your name not going down with it. So if you part of this board, you need to be apologizing if you saying, I helped start it, I was there in the beginning, or whatever the case may be. Because it's only 2 names that's associated with it. And they dead. They can't tell you nothing more about it. Now, one of them tried to take advantage of it. Good for him. Hope his family did do something off his book, off everything. The other guy got a book too. Hope his family did do something. But guess what? Neither one of y'all families don't own the rights to your own name, because all we got to do is go to court reported stories, the Britannica, and go talk to the Supreme Board, and we can do movies, write books, do whatever. And guess what? None of that don't go to your family. So please tell me how is being a Crip is positive. Where you going to get rewards out of being a Crip? Show me one person. These 2 is the ones who's supposed to started it. Stanley Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington. Now, Tookie wrote a book and Jamie Foxx played him in the movie. But they family did get something, hopefully, I don't know. But that's it. After that's gone, it's over with.
You know what I'm saying? Bracket, Tooth Dog. I'm out. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Yeah, this Tooth Dog in the backyard boogie for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Kids get down too, and they important. You see some of you kids, you already know, stay away from gang violence, right? Stay away from drugs and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all education is important. This is our future, you know what I'm saying? Tooth Dog, I stay down whoop whoop all the time, you know what I'm saying? And it's all good. How many of y'all want to be doctors when y'all grow up? How many of y'all want to be nurses? How many you want to be a doctor? How many of y'all want to be nurses? Any nurses? Lawyers? What about lawyers? What about football player? Basketball player? What you want to be, baby? What you want to be when you grow up?
Basketball player.
Basketball player. And the only way we can get all this accomplished is if we stay in school, right?
Yes.
So y'all gotta make sure don't be in the class clowning, doing your little thing, you know what I'm saying? But you know, we all gotta stay in school, right?
Right.
What Tooth Dog say? We got what?
Stay in school.
Don't be a fool, what?
Stay in school.
All right, you know what I'm saying? That's right.
You hear
How
me?
we gonna do it?
Stay in school.
Stay in school. You hear Uncle? It's always somebody Uncle was trying to go. Always somebody Uncle gonna turn the party out. You know, black folk did. Anyway, this Tooth Dog, South Central Finest. What Tooth Dog say?
Don't be a fool. Stay in school.
All right, y'all heard that. We gonna stay there. You know what I'm saying? All right, Tooth Dog, South Central Finest, baby. Whoop, whoop. This is the thing that I'm telling you. I'm on the kids, so it doesn't matter to me what, who, what, say, whatever. Because this is about kids and generations. Like I say all the time, if you know me, I'm really trying to do as many good deeds now to try to get into heaven. God to pull one card like, oh no, you got to pass. Take them 6 shots, you get a pass. I ain't gonna let you die out here. So that's why I'm focused. So now he like, look, pay attention. Go start with where you from, with your line. My grandfather got a school named after him. How many people can say that? That their no, not no public school, not no private schools. I mean, no, a public school. There's a public school named after him in Texas. But he's an educator. That's where I come from. My family are educators and farmers. That's our history. So I'm not playing with this GAMD. I already know exactly what to do. See, what need to happen is that people need to get on board with this. If you smart, you need to get on board with this
So you can get your name part of this. So when it's presented, so it can be in writing in the state of California that GAMD, gang addiction mental disorder, is real. It's a suffering condition and it can happen to anybody. It's just African Americans are more likely to get it. But if anybody can get it because it's a disorder. Listen, let me read something to you. Hold on. I got to read this. I'm sorry. I got to go read this. Let's talk about this. Let me show you something. The attraction of gangs. First of all, let me tell you where this is coming from. The National Institution of Justice. This is an official website of the United States Government Department of Justice. Okay? Let me tell you something. See, a lot of homies can't do what I'm finna do. They can't just, they don't, because they uneducated. And they don't want to admit it. You feel me? You uneducated. You can't do this. The attraction of gangs, right? In a changing course chapter on the attraction of gangs, Carl S. Taylor and Pamela R. Smith discuss what the evidence shows about factors that for some kids outweigh the potentially life-destroying consequences of joining a gang. Taylor, a professor at Michigan State University, has worked with communities on the issues of youth violence, gangs, and youth development for 40 years. Smith manages the female study for the Michigan Gang Research Project. They discuss several factors that have been shown to attract some youth to gangs, including economics. For many young people who feel disconnected from the American dream, the economic opportunities of gangs membership offer an acceptable alternative to a low-wage job in the legitimate employment arena. Remember when I told you kids, why kids are low-paying, like gangs is like a job. You think you're going to get paid out of it, They got that on act, but now is dating gang members because of what they see, So this is what they talking about. Relationships. Youth who feel marginalized, rejected, or ignored in the family, school, or church may join a gang to feel a need for support. Some youth join a gang for a sense of belonging, viewing the gang as a substitute or auxiliary family. For some, the appeal is that a friend or family member is already in the gang. You feel me? GAMD, baby. All you got to do is pick up the book. It's in here. Who know better than me? God gave me this. I said, I just wrote it out and gave it to you. You understand what I'm saying? Feel me? Protection. Although there is no incontrovertible evidence that kids in a gang are more likely to be exposed to violence than kids who do not belong to a gang. This does not resonate with many young people who believe that joining a gang will protect them from violence in school or the community. Also, girls who experience physical or sexual abuse at home may believe that being in a gang offers protection. Yeah, just like some of my little homegirls told me, you feel me? In so many words, that it ain't cool at my house. But, we let these little rapists and all that. That's why, when you homies really be the powwow, the powder and all that. She 13, she 14 in the car trying to, y'all knew drugs. This is crazy.
Because they thought Negroes couldn't read and write. They thought Negroes didn't have the capacity to read and write. And yet they made all the laws to stop us from learning how to do what? Read and write. If we can't read and write, what you trying so hard to stop us for? And the answer is because America has always known what you are. America has always known who you are. America has understood what you're capable of, and they will make you think you ain't nothing at the same time that they exploit your gifts. They'll tell you you lazy and make you a slave. They'll tell you you dirty and have you clean their house. They'll tell you you uncivilized, and we raise their children. They know who you are. But it's time that you listen to who you are, that you understand who you are.